going on, Jerome's? Happy Monday out there, everyone, everywhere. Take a look at another 7-round Minnesota Vikings Mock Draft. Mock Draft Monday, as it were. So, Senior Bowl is in the books. I'm going to take a look at a couple of guys that had showed up and shown out. Really good at talking today. Senior Bowl practice as well as the game, even though, like we said, take the game with a massive grain of salt, man. So, everyone just shooting Kellen Mond up their draft boards. Really? Oh, really? Right, so as always with the Vikings mock drafts, we have to set out some parameters. So in this one, the Vikings aren't active in free agency, even though they certainly could clear money. So no Thuney no matter what, no Leonard Williams, no JJ. And they restructure, well, not restructure, they have Anthony Barr take a pay cut. They bring Riley Reif back on a reduced salary as well. They let Eric Wilson walk. They let Anthony Harris walk. They cut Kyle Rudolph. So that's where we are. That's where we're at now. So let's kick this thing off and enhance. Go. And I think after the Matthew Stafford blockbuster trade, the fact that teams like the like the Colts, like the Steelers, are now missing out on the Matthew Stafford sweepstakes. Oh, the Niners too. Could enhance things. Let's go. All right, so trade offer. So the Raiders are offering 17 and a fourth rounder. Get out of here. Washington's offering 19, a fourth, and a seventh. No. Let's see who's on board. So Micah Parsons on board. No Panther Trey Lance is on board. And this is the complicated thing. So the Vikings certainly could take Trey Lance here, quarterback of the future, sitting behind Kirk Cousins for 2 years. But you're taking yourself out of the first 2 rounds of the draft, unless you maneuver and move back up, which is not always as easy as you would think. But the Vikings do have 6 third and fourth round picks after compensatory selections are put in there. So what do you do here? Personally, if you had to stick and pick, I would take Trey Lance and then sit him, because it's been so long since the Vikings have had an opportunity to bring in a homegrown franchise quarterback. And I don't even care that he went to NDSU or is from Marshall, Minnesota, but the arm talent, the athleticism is absolutely off the charts. So that's what I would do in this spot. But let's recap who's been selected so far. So Wilson goes 2, Lawrence 1, Jamar Chase, Justin Fields stays in Atlanta, Penei Sewell no matter what, Devontae Smith. So this is all pretty standard, pretty according to Hoyle, nothing too crazy going on. I mean, J.C. Horn going to the so the Niners passing on Trey Lance to go with J.C. Horn. I don't know. I don't see it happening. But let's see what people's appetites are for moving on up. So the Colts, I think the Colts might be the biggest losers in the Matthew Stafford trade, because that one seemed pretty much like the easiest trade to make. So barring an Andrew Luck unlikely unretirement, I think that might be stuck. So let's see if they want to come up. So we will give you, I'll pack in a 7th. So now they're being sticklers. Okay. All right, I don't want to give up a 5 and a 6. All right, so I do want your 1 and 2 for you to have the rights, the pleasure to come up for No Pants or Trey Lance. I'll give you 14. I'll throw in the good 5. Actually, I'll throw in the good 6, and I'll throw in the good 7th. I can't believe we're giving up 7th round picks. What kind of universe is this? I guess we kind of have to, don't we? All right, staying on the line. All right, so Colts have accepted the offer, so we're moving on down. And then they don't even take Trey Lance. They moved up for Asante Samuel. Okay. All right, so now the Chiefs are on the horn. They're offering 32 and a third-round pick now. Jacksonville, miss me with this BS, Jacksonville. Like, they're trying to really harp on Rick Spielman's affinity for 7th-round picks. Get out of here. See what else. Eagles, no. All right, so what do we do? So, given the board, I mean, Darisaw would be an easy stick and pick in this spot, even though you did bring Riley Reif back at a reduced rate. I mean, Darisaw, you can play him at guard for a year. I would just put him at left tackle. And yes, Ezra Cleveland, left tackle of the future potentially, but I mean, Darisaw is absolutely a dude, man. He is. But I think that given the board, I mean, there are about a dozen names that I like at this point. Oh, Kadarius Toney. I'm really starting to warm up if the Vikings do have a trade down spot and just taking a guy like Toney. Wow. Jalen Phillips is still on board. Mac Jones is still on board. That's super interesting. So leverage in this spot. So the Steelers at 24 and the Saints at 28. Certainly could be in the quarterback certainly could be in the market for a quarterback, even though the Saints can't really afford one, so drafting one would make a ton of sense. So let's get them on the horn. Hey, Mickey Loomis, the guy who manages his cap like a dude who pays his credit cards with other credit cards. Let's do some business. So 21, we want your 1 and 2, and then we'll throw in a 6. Oh, you're ready to hop all over that. Okay, we're in. And, of course, you can do the Spielman special, take some of these mid-round picks that you have, and then break that down. Pause the draft. Pause. Actually, let's just get to our pick. There we go. So now we have trade offer. Not really interested in moving from this. Wow. All right, so for 28, they're offering 45, 2/3, and a 5th. I don't want to keep trading down too far, though, but that one is pretty damn tempting. Let's quick counter offer? Certainly. All right, so they're interested. Wait, no, they want the 1 and the 2? No, screw you. I thought that was just for the 1. Anyway, all right, so take a look on board. Bolton's on board, Leatherwood, Mayfield. Let's look at the interior offensive lineman. So there's interesting dynamic on the interior offensive lineman in this year's draft, where there's going to be a lot of guys that go rounds 2, 3, 4 that will be starting at least by the end of the season of the rookie year. So Wyatt Davis probably going to have to start the year on the pup. It is what it is. Maybe Landon Dickerson, depending what happens with that knee. But Trey Smith, I think, is going to go somewhere and start. Same thing with Creed. Deontay Brown, maybe. Josh Myers, maybe. Ben Cleveland, it's a guy I have a lot of affinity for. Had himself a very solid Senior Bowl week before he got dinged up. David Moore, the pride of Grambling, really put himself on the map for a lot of people. Jack Anderson, of course, that we've loved forever. Drake Jackson. And then, oh, yeah, they don't have Whitewater Kid on here. No, they don't. Interior off, let's go tackles. So they got Mayfield, Leatherwood, Jenkins, Eichenberg, Radens, Jackson Carman, who will probably play guard at the next level. Wheeler Walker Little Jr., a guy that we've really loved. Opt out this year was a 2019 injury, but his 2018 tape at Stanford. Woo! I mean, it's an interesting draft because there's so many guys that are like that, where they have this phenomenal tape from like 2 years ago. Barmore, Nixon, Onwuzurike, the USC guys, McNeil. So, I mean, the Vikings are in an extremely good spot. And let's just take a look at what picks that we do have. No, I'm not trading. No, previous. All right, so I just want to look at our picks. So, you got 28. You got 2 second-round picks now through the Indianapolis and the Saints trades. So, you got 28, 53, 60, and then you still have the 2 third-round picks. You still have 4 fourth-rounders, and you have a 5th. Now, you can break down one of these 4th or 5th-rounders, get back into the 6th and 7th rounds, trade down. But right now, like you're looking really good. So you have 5 day 1, day 2 selections, and pretty happy about that. So let's just see who's on board right now. Looking at the big board. In terms of overall positional value, I'm pretty good with like a handful of the tackles. I'm completely agnostic about a dozen of the guards as well. So if you're looking just for overall value in terms of scarcity, I mean, Jalen Phillips would make a lot of sense here. Kadarius Toney, like there's a lot of really good, smaller, fast wide receivers in this draft, but Toney just hits different. He just really does. Barmore just sitting there chilling. Can we move down again? Because I really do like this board. Let's, well, I don't know how far we can move down. All right, so let's check out the Dolphins. Previous, Miami, enhance. All right, so the Dolphins have 35 and 50. All right, so 28 for 35 and 50. That's a low chance of going down. Definitely want the 6th and 7th. How about we'll include... I don't want to include that much. It's going to be costly, Chief. It's not moving the needle at all. No, they don't want to be in. No, screw you guys. We're going home. So at this point, I mean, is taking Toney just absolutely bat bleep insane? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Yoink. Woo. Oh, my goodness. The fact that you traded down several times and then your first pick was a wide receiver, and people would flip out. Even though Toney, man, play him as wide receiver 3, play him at some running back, play him as a kick returner, do everything. do everything about that. I love it. All right, so the Broncos want to come. No, they're offering their pick. Now, screw you. I don't want your pick. Got here, George Payton. Now, do we take Tony and Felton from UCLA? Do we just have the most fun offense in the National Football League? I mean, is Clint Kubiak going to be that blessed? All right, so let's see here. I'll trade off now. So looking at the board, Onwuzurike is there. Holland is there for sure. So definitely want to be in the safety market. Holland, Richie Grant. I do want to double dip. So if you got like Holland and Grant, which Vikings certainly could do with their abundance of rounds 2, 3, 4 picks. So Holland, Grant, Holland, Cisco, Holland, Ford, Holland, Tariq, Holland, Tufunga, Holland. Ooh, Ardarius. Damn, baby. Whereas you look at defensive tackle, where I do really like Onwuzurike, but I like McNeil, I like Marvin Wilson, I like Darius Stills, I love Twyman. In terms of nose tackles, I like Shelvin, I like Tadaro Slayton, I like Tonga, I like Naquan as well. So just in terms of overall scarcity, let's look at the interior offensive line. These guys aren't in any danger of going anytime soon. We missed out on Landon Dickerson, but it is what it is. Tackle. Yeah, so you're sitting pretty. So I'm going to take Jevon Holland. Welcome. You're a Minnesota Fighting Viking. So Rams are trying. No. All right, so now what do? Look at the big board. At a certain point, you have to start cashing in some of these picks. So currently, you got Tony, you got Holland. Basham. Now, I don't see Basham falling this far, especially after a really solid Senior Bowl, but I mean, it is possible. And I do like Basham, like we've talked about. I do like Boogie Basham because he is stout against the run. Like, he isn't one of these undersized, pure speed edge rush guys like Aziz, like Hale McCarr, etc. So, I mean, that's extremely tempting. Let's see. I just want to look at where our other picks are. And we're not trading with Texans. But, all right, 60, 78, 90. So if we don't go O-line here, we have to go back-to-back O-line in the third round. And then ideally plucking another safety or another wide receiver or another cornerback or whatever. Okay. Well, at this point, I think that is too much value not to take Boogie Basham. So let's go. Carlos, Basham, Ezekiel, Jerome Jr. Let's go. All right, so we got Tony, Holland, and Basham in the building. Spielman ignores the offensive line. Oh, maybe they do have a point. All right, so now a couple trade offers. 94 and a fifth. Now pass. A 6 and a future third. Get out of here, Les Snead. No. All right, so the Vikings up on the clock. So now we got a hammer on offensive linemen. And I think we're in a really good spot because you see Cleveland still on board. David Moore, Trey Hill, if you want to go that direction. A bunch of the Notre Dame guys. Jack Anderson is a stud that I love. Jackson Carman is going to kick inside. Wheeler Walker Little Jr. Adrian Ely, even though, man, if you look at what was it, the 2019 Big 12 title game, James friggin' Lynch absolutely destroyed Ely. Anyway. It's the interior defensive line. I mean, we could. Yeah, I do want Twyman. We do have to make note of that. All right, so what do you do here? I think at this stage, you just have to start hammering interior offensive linemen. So going Ben Cleveland, the pride of Georgia, where people talk scheme fits, streams. I just want a guy who's going to have a solid anchor at the point of attack and a dude who wears 350 pounds extremely well. So you got the Cleveland show. Now, I do want to double down. David Moore is extremely tempting at this spot. Let's look at the big board real quick, though. So, yeah, Seams there. Cisco, Thong Song. McNeil. I mean, we can gamble a little bit here. I mean, Marvin Wilson is super tempting as well. I don't know if he'll fall down to 90, but he certainly could because Wilson's 2018-2019 tape, out of this world. 2020 was sort of whatever. And he sort of ran hot and cold at the Senior Bowl as well. So that's super tempting. Interior offensive line. Will David Moore last the fourth round? He might. And I'm certainly fine just taking Jack Anderson as well. I think in terms of balancing stoutness against the run as well as pass rush ability, I do think that Marvin Wilson is one of the better all-around guys. I mean, McNeil is still there too. You could flip a coin. in this spot, but I'm going to take Marvin Wilson, probably to Florida State. Let's go. Let's go. So we're just sort of tiptoeing through, ticking the boxes. I do want Felton. I got to write that down. All right, so I want Felton. I do want Keith Taylor. Then we'll grab a quarterback a little bit later on. So now the Vikings, just want to take a look at the picks. All right, so the Vikings now have 4 fourth-rounders and a 5th. Now we could break that 5th down. Yeah, try and get some 7th-rounders out of it. I mean, do we take a look now? Like, who has multiple 7th-rounders? I wish we would have looked ahead of time. Not the Dolphins. Look at the Jets. Or do we just wait for an offer? All right, so the Colts have multiple 7th-rounders. Can we do that for a 5th? I want your 6 too. No? All right, how about a 6 and a 7? All right, so 2 7s for a 5. I feel like I'm getting ripped off. Give me a future pick then. Give me... No. Yeah, we're getting a future 6. So 2 7s and a future 6 and a 2023. How about 2024? How about 2025? Fine. All right, so now we got 2 7s and a future 6. Woo! Exciting times. Let's see here. Looking at the big board. Just completely forgot what we're doing. Oh, Aswa Digizuwa. Man, I know we said don't put so much stock into the Senior Bowl game, but, I mean, Osa destroyed. He was really, really interesting. Do we just double down defensive tackle here? I mean, we might. It's an interesting inflection point. I feel like there's a ton of value there. Or do we get Twyman because stylistically he's a little bit more different than Marvin Wilson? Or do we get just pick Ardarius? Well, we're going to have some back-to-back picks here. So I'm going to say screw it. We're doubling down. Beef in the trenches. Let's go. Safety, I'm getting Ardarius. Honey Badger 2.0. Let's get it. So now we're going to have some decisions. And because, like we said, we want to double down on interior offensive line. David Moore's still sitting there chilling. We like Jack Anderson. We like Drake Jackson. So your tackle. I mean, Brady Christensen is just hanging around, man. That's super interesting. Running back, we do want Felton. Can wait on that for a hot second. All right, so we got safety double down. We got interior defensive line double down. We have 1 offensive lineman. And we already do have wide receiver. So what do? Check out linebacker now. Check out edge. Weaver. Oh. All right, so Weaver's there. Tony's there. It's interesting. All right, let's try and make a move. Who has multiple like mid-round picks? I wish I had a chart in front of me. So, So do we break down this 4th rounder and try to get back into the 5th? Or do we just suck it up and take 2 4th-rounders? I think that's, yeah, I feel like we're wasting too much time. All right, so let's just do this. David Moore, the pride of Grambling, just a bowling ball of energy, man. Speaking of guys who weigh 350, so we're going against the scheme, we're going against type, but David Moore is like 6'1", 350, and then Ben Cleveland, let's go. Plant their ass in at guards. Riley Reef, hey, bro, you're kicking into guard. We're kicking Ezra Cleveland out to left tackle. And you can just like it or lump it. Then Cleveland and Kyle Hinton and David Moore are going to compete for that other spot. Oh, Oli Udoh in the mix as well. Let's go. All right, so now what do we do? What do we want to do? So I don't want to let Felton get away. And just looking at the wide receivers. And if you didn't know, Felton is a wide receiver. Like he's basically like a running back by trade, but really a receiving guy. So think of like Dante Hall. Think of like Dante Hall and Austin Eckler and who else would be a good comp? Tariq Cohen, I guess. Roll that all into one. Do we just take him? Or is there too much value at other spots? Quarterback, I do want... Well, Kellen Mond is still on board. That's interesting. I do like Felipe Franks. Yeah, screw it. No more overthinking. We're just getting our guys. I do want to hit up on a cornerback, though. Although I think we missed... Yeah, Keith Taylor's long gone. That kind of sucks. Marco Polo's there. Trill. Sure. When do we pick again? Yeah, because we have 2 7th-rounders, right? Yeah, so we might have to be waiting for a while. Happy Monday, by the way. How was your weekend? Pretty good. Pretty decent. Watch some Senior Bowl. Watch some NBA. It's good times. I think SNL is back. We'll have to check that out in the DVR. Man, the wait-in is the hardest part. Even though from this draft, I'm completely went from 6 to midnight. 6-round pick. No. Hey, I fought and clawed and scratched and itched for these 7th-round picks, and I'm keeping them no matter what. Can Felipe Franks just make it? No! Now I'm stuck with Ian Book. Depressing. I guess this is what happens towards the end of the draft. So what do we do? I mean, Kate Johnson is there. Do we triple down on wide receiver? Dax Milne? This is what usually happens. Like, towards the end of the draft, like, all of the wide receivers just get bunched up. It's kind of funny. So Jordan, Bryce Matthews now. There's really not anyone I'm in love with. Nah. Offensive line. Loudermilk? No. Edge, Jamar, Golston, King. I've taken Golston a bunch here. Demetrius Taylor. Oh, okay. Jordan Jackson, sure. We'll take the every single draft. Tough Borland. No, KJ Britt. Every single draft, Spielman gets his 7th-round linebacker, plays some special teams, because it reminds him of him. And I guess we just have to take a quarterback. Ian Book, come on in. Get your ass in the car. We want a Felipe Franks, former Florida Gator. Was sort of whatever at Arkansas this year, but is what it is. But, yeah, baby. Let's go. So, let's check out the haul. So I understand the controversy surrounding the Vikings taking a wide receiver in the first round, but you move down twice. You move down from 14 to 21, 28, and then getting Kadarius Toney at this spot. He's going to be a wide receiver 3. He's going to be dynamic. He's going to take the top off the defense. He's going to be just absolutely dirty and filthy in the open field. I'm in, man. And also Adam Thielen, he ain't a spring chicken. Certainly has a couple of good years left, but eventually it's going to be Jefferson and Toney. As well as Felton. Come on, let's get some. Plus, Toney and Felton will come in and handle the return duties right away, so you check that box as well. Offensive line, Spielman ignores the offensive line. He kind of did, but made up for it. So I got Ben Cleveland as well as David Moore, just 2 giant 350-pound guards that you can flank. Bradbury long-term. Then you are going to kick Ezra Cleveland out to tackle. Defensive line, doubling, tripling down, man. So Boogie Basham, probably not going to make it to 60, but is just way too much value to pass up at this point. He's solid at the point of attack against the run. Can also get after it, pressuring from the edge. Can play on the close side of the field. Maybe you kick Daniil Hunter over to the right side, or do whatever. So you got Basham, Daniil, and DJ Wanham. It's a nice little combo. So defensive tackle, I felt like it was just a little bit too much value, because Marvin Wilson, former 5-star all-world recruit, the number 1 recruit in the nation for defensive tackle. He's phenomenal in 2018, 2019, 2020 is whatever, but insane value in the 3rd round. Solid against the run. He's not the quickest guy in the world, but he does have a pretty impressive bull rush. Needs to play a little bit lower with his pad level. And then Osa Odighizuwa had himself a week, man, at the Senior Bowl. I think he had 5 pressures and a sack, I want to say, in the Senior Bowl game. But overall, a solid 4-year career in Westwood. And another UCLA guy. Hey, can we get Miles Jack now? That would kind of good too. Oh, and also Demetric Felton. Yeah, pride of UCLA. Let's go get that going. Javon Holland is going to come in. He's going to be starter right away. Well, him and Ardarius can sort of platoon that other safety spot opposite of Harrison Smith. Ardarius, I really like Ardarius Washington, man. So if you go back and watch Jeff Gladney tape at TCU, like Ardarius will really, Trevon Moehrig as well as Ardarius will really pop out to you. So Ardarius can play in the slot. He can be the box guy. He can play some split safety. So he brings that to the table for the Vikings. And I really like Javon Holland as well, because you could almost consider Holland a cornerback, where he is really that hybrid defensive back that you do need in today's sub package. So I really like those 2 selections, and I think the Vikings could and should double down at safety in this draft. And see what else here. What did we cover? Felton, KJ Britt, backup linebacker, special teams guy, no matter what. Ian Book. We really want a Felipe Franks, but sometimes the cookie doesn't crumble your way. So Ian Book, who I do enjoy. I do have reservations about. It goes back and forth. He really reminds me of Trace McSorley. That's what he's going to be. So, overall, what are your thoughts? Monday mock draft. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.